Queria agradecer mais uma vez os nossos patrocinadores do evento. Patrocinador Platinum, a Everest Brasil. Patrocinador Gold, a Dynatrace, GM5, FIAP, Entelge. E como Silver, Oracle MySQL, Verity e Dibbl, tá? E a ideia da Trilha Business é justamente a gente trazer insights de negócio para essa sala. E nós vamos começar com o Juan Fernandes, tá? Que é Product Manager da Liferay na Espanha, com a palestra de Audience Targeting 2.0.
Well, I'm going to talk about audience targeting and about the evolution we have created for this new version of the product. Last year, we presented audience targeting version 1, and it's already available for all you customers that need to create marketing campaigns, to create user segments, to start segmenting your audience. You can already go to the Liferay Marketplace, download the product, and it's ready to use. What I'm going to present today is the evolution of that product, how we are starting to solve different problems in the market, in the marketing space. So, how many of you have already used Audience Targeting 1? Raise your hands. Okay. So, I'm also going to present features that are already there, that has evolved, but are part of current version. So, it will be useful for you to also learn what you can do today with audience targeting. Okay, so when we start talking about marketing campaigns and communications, there's a little bit of confusion on what is a marketing campaign. Maybe there are some marketers in the audiences, or maybe there aren't. So let me start by defining what a marketing campaign is. At a higher level, marketing campaigns are just a means to help your users or your customers move from one stage to other stage of the funnel, that can be their relationship with you, just by sending information to the right audience through the right channel, okay? It is really important that we understand the main concepts here. The fact that you are helping your users sending the right information through the right audience, through the right channels. And that is extremely important. And this is important because the main thing in this definition is the user. The key thing is that for a long time, in the industry, the rock star was the company, the rock star was the product itself, but times have changed, and now the rock star is the user, the customer, right? So if we have into account that we are communicating with this customer, that we are trying to share our knowledge or our value with those customers, the first thing we need to understand is who is our customer, who is our user. And nowadays, our users live in a multi-channel life. That means that they are interacting with you as a company, as a provider. They are interacting with you in many, many different ways. They can be interacting with you via your website, via your customer portal, via phone call, via social media, in person, if you have stores, if you are in retail, or if you are a university, your students will be interacting with you in person. If you are a retail or a bank, your customers will be interacting with you in person. They will be watching advertisement in television or in radio. They will be interacting with you using Facebook, Twitter. So this is real life. This is what's going on today. And it is actually a challenge for you as a company to be able to manage all these communication channels with your customers. But not only having into account the channels is a challenge. The thing that every user, every customer is in a different state in their relationship with you, right? So for example, you are here, you are customers or potential customers of Liferay. You might be trying to understand what Liferay is. You might be in the awareness phase. You might be considering purchasing Liferay, and you need to compare against our competitors. You are purchasing it, or you maybe have already purchased Liferay, and you might love Liferay. You've been using it for 10 years, and you love Liferay, right? You can be in all these different stages of your relationship with us. So communication has to be adapted. The message has to be adapted to each one of those stages, because I cannot try to explain what a portal is to a person that has been using Liferay for 10 years, that wouldn't make any sense. But for someone that is new to Liferay, it would be extremely beneficiary for them, right? So that is something that we need to take into account when we communicate with our customers. Another important thing is that when we talk about marketing, there are companies that say, I just use Liferay, or I'm just interested in this technology for my employees as an intranet, for example. I'm not selling anything, so I'm not interested in marketing. And I want to stress the necessity that we need to understand that marketing is just communicating. It's communicating with an audience, right? That audience can be your external public, your external customers, or it can be your employees, it can be your students, or it can be people in the same company, in different departments of the same company. At the end, marketing can be external to external customers or internal, okay? So when we start thinking in how to communicate, in how to create these campaigns, I always think in these campaigns in a 4-step cycle that never stops. We have 4 phases: the creation of the campaign, the publication, you need to make it public, then promotion, so that you make sure everyone reaches, that information reaches everyone, and then measurement, so that you know the impact of your acts, of your message in your audience, so that you can keep improving. So let me give some details on each of those phases. So in the creation phase, the most important question is, what do you have for your users? What information or what added value do you have for your customers? You know that every company has something that is interesting for the end user. If you don't have something that is interesting, you would be out of business in a way, right? So you need to deliver something that is valuable for those customers. That can be from white papers to services to banners to videos. You need to create material that shares your message with your customers. You can have industry case studies, you can have industry research, product demos, whatever you have, right? And you know Liferay already offers web content management tools so that you can publish that content. We have digital asset management in the document library so that you can store all that material in Liferay. So you already have that repository in there where you can put all your assets, which is the value that you're going to share with your customers. And that's right. So you have your assets, and then you need to make it public, right? So again, web content management system, you know, Liferay allows you to create multiple sites so that you can expose that information and make it available to your customers. This content can be published in your public website if you have one, or you can generate as many landing pages as you need. You can provide a home to your content just by offering landing pages so that you can make sure that content is always accessible and it's always online. This is just an example of a landing page from the Chicago Symposium a couple weeks ago, and it's a simple Liferay website that allows people to do one thing, right, which is register. Our customers tend to use landing pages templates so that the marketing teams can generate hundreds of landing pages. So you can make use of these templates to be agile and to keep improving, to keep iterating, and keep testing which types of landing pages works better for you, right? And now that you have your content, your assets, now they are published in a website, it's time to tell everyone, right? But communication is not about spamming everyone in the world, right? You need to make sure that your message reaches the right audience. And this is extremely important. Personally, I really hate when I receive a message from a company that is completely useless to me. If I just bought a car and you are trying to sell me a new one, that makes me mad, right? Or if I just bought whatever and you are trying to sell me the same thing or something that I don't really need. You're trying to sell me food for my dog and I don't have a dog. That doesn't make sense at all, right? So we need to make sure that your message reaches the right audience. And here is where audience targeting starts providing value. Before being able to talk to your audience, you need to understand that audience. And how do you define those audiences? There are many, many different ways to define audiences. You can define audiences by their age group, by their location, by their behavior, by the channels they are using, right? There are many, many things to do. So in Liferay, you can define as many, we call those segments user segments. In Liferay, you can define as many segments as you need, and this is the tool that allows you to group your users based on the criteria that is important for your company. By default, you can segment those users by their social behavior. For example, we have Facebook integration so that you can segment your audience based on if they like this Facebook page or not, if they are commenting. You can segment them based on the behavior, if they have visited this web content, if they have downloaded this PDF, if they have interacted with this content, etc. We also can segment based on user attributes, if he's older than 30, or if he lives in Italy or in Brazil, and also in session attributes, if they are accessing from a mobile device, if they are accessing from a mobile app. And you can use that information to segment your users. But we have also detected that many customers use external systems to store the information about our users. So one of the improvements that we've done for audience targeting too is integrating with Salesforce. So you can start segmenting your users or your customers based on external information. So if you have information in Salesforce regarding, for example, if the user is already a customer or not, or if they are an opportunity or a renewal, if you have information about the number of employees of that company, you can extract that information, that knowledge, and segment users based on that. This is just an example. You will be hearing a lot about modularity during these 2 days. We are investing in making every component in Liferay being extensible, being small modules that you can extend. And this is just an example. If you are using all the CRMs or the ERPs, you can always create a module to integrate with those external services and bring all that value to your portals. Once you have created these segments, it is time to create personal experiences, right? We have been talking about how different users should receive different messages, and your portals should behave differently, right? This is just an example of a portal that is showing different content for men and women. This is just an example, but you can think in all kind of optimizations and personalizations, and that is exactly what audience targeting helps you do. It allows you to define for each audience which content you wanna display, right? Also, it's not only about content. Also, you can create personalized banners so that you can show banners with call to actions in your websites, so that you can define personalized message using this audience targeting and the right tools. So this is nothing new for now. This is all audience targeting 1. You can directly use it today if you want. But you might be thinking, okay, I have my material, I have my personalized experience in the website, but is that all? Are all my users in my portal? Are all my users or my customers accessing my website all the time? And the answer is no. Your users are not waiting for you to do something new in your website, refreshing 5 times a day, right? So you somehow need to bring those customers back to your portal. And that is when we start talking about inbound marketing. Basically, we have started to invest in the new version of audience targeting to make sure that your message gets out of your Liferay portal and reaches your customers. So this might be really familiar to you. You receive newsletters every day from companies that you are customers. You are used to interact with mobile apps and have a personalized experience. You receive SMSs, push notifications about different offerings. And we thought that Liferay already provides the right tools to deliver these kind of experiences. We just needed to make them evolve a little bit to be able to achieve this kind of stories. So we created the concept of promotions. Promotions, and this is new for audience targeting too. Promotions are just a way to share a message across different channels to a certain group of users. It is really simple. It's basically you have a message you want to share, you define your audiences, you choose the channels you want to use, and you just push the information out of your portal. That way you don't need to wait for users or your customers to come to your portal. It is you who goes there and provides the value wherever they are. So we have started with 4 channels: email newsletters, mobile apps, push notifications, and SMS campaigns. Let me go in detail to each of those. The key is that for every campaign, we know, we have been interviewing many marketing teams for this. We know that for each campaign, you organize promotions and you use many different ways or many different messages, right? So we have made a system that allows you for each campaign to define as many promotions as you need. And for each promotion, which is targeted to a concrete audience, it can be for developers or for business users. You can schedule as many notifications as you need. You can schedule 3 SMSs. You can schedule 4 email newsletters that are going to be programmed to be launched. Or you can define a banner that is going to appear in the mobile app. This kind of experiences is what we are giving you the tools to build. So how does it look like? Basically, we have created a tool that is extremely easy to use so that marketers can just drag and drop new channels, and you can just directly configure them in the user interface. So let me start. Why email? We started with email because email is the second most used marketing tool after the public website of a company. 92% of adults use email, 91% use it every day, so it's like the obvious first investment, right? So we decided to invest in email newsletters, and we created this newsletter editor so that you can directly define, you can add this channel, you can define your newsletter, and you can send them to the group of users that you have previously defined, and you can send it right away or schedule for the future. SMS. When we started interviewing marketers and they started talking to me about SMS, I thought, hey man, this is from the previous century. Do we still use SMS? And then I started doing some research about SMS, and they are still quite powerful. Why? They had 98% open rate. 90% of them are read within 3 seconds after they are sent, and this is extremely powerful as a communication tool, right? They are inexpensive, and they are really valuable. 1/3 of the users click on a link when they receive it via SMS. So this is an extremely interesting marketing tool. So we decided to integrate it in as one of our channels. And as we did before, you just drag and drop your component, you write your SMS, and ready to go. One of the things that is interesting is that we are giving you the tools to personalize that email. So if you know, you can directly use the username of the customer to personalize emails, push notifications, SMS, and everything. So it's getting personal. And then we move to the mobile world. Up to now, we could send emails, newsletters, and SMSs so that you don't need mobile apps. But we see that more and more customers are building mobile apps. So we wanted to provide value to those companies building mobile apps. And one of the most important reasons these companies or our customers are building mobile apps is because it gives you a way to engage with your customers. They have your mobile app always in their phones, so you have a connection, a channel to communicate with them directly to their pockets, and we see there's a huge value in push. Push have a 40% open rate, 50% higher than email, which is a lot. And one of the most interesting things is that you have full control of what you can deliver. You can deliver push notifications, and you can control from the vibration, the sounds, where it appears. If it will have images, or you can even send videos, audio. I mean, push notifications can get pretty interesting, right? And it's a really good way to communicate with your customers. So we integrated it. You know, we already provide Liferay Push. Liferay Push, I'll talk about it tomorrow, but Liferay Push is a product that provides push notifications from the portal to mobile apps. So we have integrated it with audience targeting so that you can send push notifications personalized to a concrete group of users. And same interface. And the most advanced use that we have thought of audience targeting and communication campaigns is mobile ad campaigns. As you know, mobile marketing is getting really huge in the marketing world, right? Everyone's building mobile apps, and one of the stories around mobile is that they are quite rigid, that they are not very flexible, that in order to change something, you need to go through the markets and redeploy and wait for the users to download the app again. So it can be painful, right? So we decided to invest in this integration so that you can directly change the behavior and the appearance of the mobile app for different groups of people. So we started investing on these kind of personalizations. I've already shown about personalization in the web, and you are already investing in personalized experience in the web. But why would be mobile apps worse than your web experiences, right? So we have integrated audience targeting with Liferay Screens. Liferay Screens is one of our mobile products that allows you to display information that resides in the portal directly in your native mobile apps, so that you can personalize the experience for different user segments and make sure that your message and that the experience that you deliver on mobile is as personal as you are delivering in your portal. That's it. And finally, once you have created all these kind of notifications, promotions, campaigns, it is so important to be able to measure. There's a say that says that you cannot improve what you cannot measure. So we have invested a lot in providing tools for you to be able to measure the impact of these activities in your business. So there's a tendency in the market to show all the data to the end users, and we think big data is extremely important, but we don't want to drown our marketing users with mountains of data. We want to avoid vanity metrics and focus really on what makes sense. So we have created the report builder as a tool to provide the right information, not every information available in the world. We want to provide the right information that really matters to our users. So we want to provide you the right tools to define which audiences are performing better, which are the conversion rates along the different user journeys, what's the performance of each of those channels, the conversion funnel analysis, so that you know from all the communications that you're having where the customers are interacting more or less with that content, so that you can see if you send 100 emails, you can see how many users open those emails, how many users click on them, but also not only on those channels, also have the full view of the user journey across all their interactions with the portal, right? So we have created this report builder that allows you to choose the metrics that you want to measure, from form interactions, form submissions, content downloads, time spent on a screen on your mobile app, interactions with every single asset, so that you can start generating reports that allows you to see the evolution of the users across all your different channels and the conversion of each of those steps. And finally, we want to provide, this is still in construction, campaign manager dashboard that allows you to merge all that information in a meaningful way for you, so that you have full control of what's going on across all your multiple campaigns. And I have run out of time. Muito obrigado.